This is Chapter 1, Section 2. Let's take a look at how we simplify equations or expressions into the simplified form. Take a look at 2 times 3 times 4. Its simplified form is going to be when we multiply, because it's times, 2 times 3, when we multiply each of these together to come up with an answer. So 2 times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24. Let's take a look at number 2. This is number 1. Number 2, we have 1/2 times 36. We need to multiply these together. 36 times 1 would be 36 over 2. That's 36 times 1/2. Then 36 divided by 2, or 1/2 of 36, is 18. That would be our simplified answer. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 is 16 minus 4 plus 7. If we figure out this equation, these numbers, 16 minus 4 is 12, plus 7 equals 19. 19 would be your simplified form. Let's take some time to learn vocabulary. If you take a look in the vocabulary builder, you're going to see the word power. Now if you look in the little example in the box over here, we're actually looking at a number. We're looking at 7 raised to the power of 2. Okay? This whole thing here is called the power. Alright? Now within this power we have some other vocabulary words. First, 7 is known as the base, while 2 is known as the exponent. Let's use our vocabulary now. Number 4. Number 4 says, circle the expression that shows a base of 7 and an exponent of 3. Now remembering what our base was, we say a base of 7 and an exponent of 3. We can take a look at 7 to the 3rd power as the correct answer. Number 5. Underline the correct word to complete the sentence. A exponent or power, one of those we have to underline, is a number that can be expressed using a base and an exponent. Is an exponent using a base and exponent? No, a power is using the base and exponent. Number 6. For each expression, underline the base, circle the exponent, and draw a box around the power. Well, let's take a look. Number 6. We have to indicate what the base is for 2 to the 5th power. Our base, again, we underline. The 2 is the base. We draw a circle around the exponent, 5, and we draw a box around the entire power. You go ahead now and you do it for 4 to the x power, m to the 7 power, and w to the z power. Go ahead and stop the video now. Alright, you should have come up with, for 4 to the x, we underline the 4, we circle the x, and we square the entire power. For m to the 7th, underline the m, circle the 7, and square in the entire power. And w to the z, underline the w, circle the z, and square in the entire power. That should be your answer. Talk for a little bit about simplified powers. We simplified numbers before. Now we're going to talk about simplifying powers. All right, let's take a look at number 1 in this case. Number 1 asks, what is the base and the exponent of 3 to the 4th power? Well, we've been working on this, so we should be able to figure this out pretty quick, that 3 to the 4th power, the 3 is my base, and the 4 is my exponent. Okay? Number 2, What does 3 to the 4th power really mean? 3 to the 4th power means we're going to multiply 3 by itself 4 times. So this is like saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've multiplied 3 together. That's what 3 to the 4th means. And then number 3 asks, what is a simplified form for 3 to the 4th? Well, if we don't have a calculator, then we have to multiply this longhand. But let's figure it out. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So we know these right here equals 27 times 3. Well, what's 27 times 3? 27 times 3 equals 81. Now we know that the simplified form of 3 to the 4th really is 81. The last part of this section is going over order of operations. Order of operations you may have heard before, but we're going to add a little bit more to it. Order of operations. Let me just put oper. Order of operations is like this. First, we're going to perform anything that was within the parentheses, okay, or square brackets. Mostly what you're going to see is going to be parentheses. And we always work from the inside parentheses to the outside parentheses. So if we have something where we have a parentheses here and we have parentheses inside, we're going to work in this area first, and then we're going to go out to this area and work our way out in the parentheses. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to simplify powers. So we got parentheses first. Next, we have to simplify the powers. Okay? When we have the simplified powers or exponents, we have, I'm going to put an E here, that would be like 7 squared. So our next order of operations, after we do all the parentheses, we're going to do the exponents. Next, we're going to multiply and divide. All right? So multiply and divide, we're going to do multiply and divide next. So anything that's in that expression that is multiplying and dividing, we're going to do that next. And then last, we're going to add and subtract. Anything that we're adding or subtracting, we do last. Take a look at the term that we've created. PEMDAS. There is a term for you to remember when you're doing order of operations. PEMDAS. That's going to help you understand which goes first. First parentheses, then exponents, then multiply and divide, and then add and subtract. Let's take a look at problem number 2 here and see if we can figure out what is our PEMDAS for this one. So I'm going to write PEMDAS at the top. PEMDAS at the top. Oh, it's an A. PEMDAS at the top. And I'm going to simplify 5 times 7 minus 4 squared divided by 2. If we look down PEMDAS, we look at P. Are there any parentheses in here? Nope. So we don't have to worry about parentheses. But we look at E. Are there any exponents in here? Well, we see an exponent or a power right here. So we're going to do that first. So let's say this is going to be 5 times 7 minus 4 squared, which is 16, divided by 2. Next thing we look at, we've got the exponents taken care of. Now we look at the multiplication. Is there any multiplication in here? Yes, there is. 5 times 7, which is 35. And oh, by the way, there's also division in here. And we can do multiplication and division at the same time. So this would be 16 divided by 2, which is 8. Now we can take a look and say, is there any addition? No, but there is subtraction, so we can finish this off last. And 35 minus 7 is going to be 20, or minus 8 is going to be 27. So we can say that this here is the simplified form of that equation.